All right, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. Let's go ahead and jump into the video immediately. See where this video takes us, guys, right? Let's do it.
Gia, how similar are Americans to, are white Americans to, you've been, how long have you been here? Three years?
2 years.
2 years? How similar are white Americans to Americans who are not white? What have you seen?
I think the daily habits slowly starts getting similar. So
Okay.
people who have been born and brought up here would be different than the ones that are like not living here, like their ancestry place. So there'd be similarities in terms of taste or I guess slowly interests, like.
Okay, so, all right, so let me.
Guys, it's definitely very interesting when you do hear people that are not from the United States of America kind of speak on some of these issues, because outside of the United States of America, people seem to think that the only American is a white American. The reason why I'm saying this here is because I live half the year outside of the United States of America, and people tend to be moderately shocked whenever they realize that I am not from the continent of Africa, in fact, from the continent of North America. All right, and so whenever you listen to some of these individuals, like these first generation, second generation immigrants speak, they tend to only rely on the fact that there was no other people kind of in the United States of America at all for the last 300-400 years at all, other than white Americans. It's interesting when they say things like this here, guys.
So a lot of times, I'm gonna keep going with this for a second. A lot of here in the United States, a lot of people of color, black and brown people. By the way, I'll say black people. If I say black people, referring here, like say in this class, I'm referencing people, Africans, either international students or Africans who came as immigrants or recent, or West Indians or I just reserve African Americans for black people who's trace their ancestry to slavery in the Americas, mostly in the United States.
That's very fair.
Okay, it's black people. Brown people is kind of everybody else who's not black, which just means like, dude, I mean, I don't know what it's just, you got to make generalizations somewhere.
Absolutely.
So you make,
it's
and
fair.
then white people are white people. Okay, but here a lot.
But there are also white people who are first and second generation immigrants. Interesting.
Somewhere, so you make, and then white people are white people. Okay, but here. A lot of times, black and brown Americans, sometimes they don't realize how white they are. How American they are, really. The truth is, like, they're really American.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact, by being really American, so-called American, they're really not very different than white people.
No,
like white
not
people,
really.
you're American, and when you travel, you're seen as an American. So, you can be African American, you can go to Ghana or Nigeria or whatever, they're just going to see you as white.
That's exactly, that exact statement that he just said is exactly my experience in West Africa, along with Central and in East Africa. The same exact thing here. Yeah, hey, you have the same similar skin tone as us, but you are white. Yep, that's what they say.
American, you're white. Like you're not, I don't know if you have that experience, but I mean, you go all over the world, it doesn't matter. You can be brown, you can be black, you're American.
You're American, yep, absolutely.
No one cares. But here you want to be like, oh, but I'm not like those people, I'm so different. So I'm asking you, like, what do you really see? When you interact with your classmates who are black and brown, I mean, are they all just Americans?
It's like those who are born and brought up in America.
Yeah.
I have cousins who were born and brought up here, like second cousins.
Okay.
So they like football. There's one who was born here who does not even eat Indian food.
And he doesn't even know what cricket is, probably, right?
Probably not.
Yeah,
So he's not aware of the Indian culture like the other one. He was born in India, but then he came here.
Yeah.
So he knows a little bit about it. He was in cricket leagues in India, so he still likes it. But then after coming here, he also likes football.
Okay, so if you pushed him on that, it's like, bro, you're like not any different than these white people around here. Would he say like, no, I'm Indian or whatever? And you would say,
No, he wouldn't care.
Oh, he wouldn't care?
Probably
Okay, so
not.
he's crossed over. All right, good for him. All right. Do you have a response to? I'm going to ask you, like a difference between, bro. Let me know if you have a question. But of course you do. What's the difference between how similar are white Americans to Americans who are not white? What do you see?
You have all the same
On average.
American entitlements, let's say,
Hang on.
by, by default.
I'm going to ask the two of you. What I was saying about how a lot of like black and brown people will often, you know, it's hard to be, it's complex to be black or brown, to be of minoritized status anywhere. It doesn't really matter whether it's gender or race or culture or whatever. It's like, you know, you're working it all the time. And it's also,
yeah, I mean, listen, is there some validity to the statement? Absolutely. There is, guys. But as long as you don't allow yourself to sit and dwell in that scenario, I think you have the ability to basically transcend that for the most part here. But either way.
once you learn about, like say in this case, once you learn about whiteness, it's complex to be white because you realize you're managing this thing. You're managing the sense that of this perceived superiority or the perceived privilege, and sometimes you're like, you know, you gotta really look in a mirror and go, damn, like what? Yeah, who am I and what am I? I mean, it's complex, right? So, what do the two of you see? Really, you see when you kind of look around at black and brown people here, like how different are they really? Black and brown culture how different is it from white culture in the U.S.? And hang on, and I'm going to interrupt. Don't think about just your family and Chinese and Chinese New Year's and your Ethiopian roots and stuff. I'm talking, and I want you to generalize to most of your classmates. And I'm looking around the room at all the black and brown people wearing like Penn State T-shirts and, you know, Nike and everything else that the white people are wearing. So go ahead. Yeah.
I think there's definitely like now a mix of cultures in America because we definitely see that being in America. So for example, like you have predominantly black artists making rap music that everyone will listen to. So I even listen to it, but I notice like a lot of white people listening to it as well. But then you still see differences like in food and art and other things like that too. So that's something I've noticed.
Okay. Do you have something? Okay, that's cool. I like that.
Maybe like, yeah, like what Philip said. I think like most things are kind of the same. Like you were talking about clothes and stuff. Like, I feel like those are kind of like cultural similarities that we have living in America. Cultural similarities we have living in America, but like, I guess at home it could be different. Like the food, the culture, like how you grow up, what you're taught at home, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's super valid here. I love this video for many, many reasons. I think one of the main one here is that you start to realize that regardless of whatever we perceive each other to be, or you know, all of our experiences and things like this, because we're experiencing it through an very American lens, let's say. Even though we ourselves like to, you know, segregate ourselves into certain areas and things like that, outside of the United States of America, bro, no one cares. Right, there are no generally like hyphenated insert the country's name. It's not really a thing here, right? Either you are from this nation or you are not, right? I mean, because the culture is going to seep into you kind of no matter what. Okay, like some of the most toxic things that seep into all of us, basically seep into all of us. It is what it is here. We are American down to our core. Okay, everyone around the world sees it. I'm telling you guys. Okay, imagine trying to explain to people, like walking through Spain specifically during like some type of random photography job that I would have. Yeah, I'm American. Okay, and then them being like, yeah, it makes sense. I'm black, but I'm Black American, right? Just trying to explain, you know, all the things because they just seem not to understand or grasp the fact that there are people in the United States of America basically hyphenate themselves. I'm to the point where probably for the last like half a decade or so, I've just dropped it all. I'm American, bro. I'm not hyphenating nothing, bro. I'm not doing it. Listen, I'm sorry because I know what the perception of us basically is outside of America. You're just American, bro. Right? You have all of the entitlements of an American. You want your food to be perfect. You want service to be perfect, etc. We have all of the entitlements of Americans, no matter what skin color you are, bro. It doesn't even matter. The reality.
Yeah, how things just slowly start to change and blend together. Yeah.
I think there's definitely some assimilation too, especially at my school.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really wear any cultural outfits just because, I don't know, I think my parents told me to sort of fit in and just blend in. That's definitely part of it.
Yeah, that's what we're all working on, right? Trying to figure out how to. Bro, you have a question?
So, all right. So since we're talking about with the assumption that the white is the majority in America right now, I was wondering, because all three of you are from the cultures that white could be the minority. Do y'all have any insight on how white people are treated when they were exposed to the culture that they are the minority at, which you guys might be somewhat familiar with?
Good question. Good question.
Do you guys just know like how white people might be treated in situations where they become the minority instead of the majority?
Yeah. That's a good. Yeah, no, that's good.
I would like to give an answer to that question also.
Gia.
I think people in India would be excited to see white tourists. So there would be two people, one taking advantage.
Because they think
because
white
they're
people have
innocent
money.
or they don't know the tricks around the streets or something.
Yeah.
But
Wait, so hang on. So we can
They just want to scam them.
we can more easily turn them upside down and shake money out of
Yeah.
them. So to
kind
speak.
of,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
I mean, sometimes, not for everyone,
I got
but yeah.
She's being nice. If you've been to India, you know that she's not joking.
And the other people would be really excited to show around, help them out, offer them a meal, like, try to give out the hospitality, show their culture. Like, they would be like excited to be like, oh, hello, you're here. Come on.
So more so than if Lena showed up?
I'm not sure about that because
Like tonally, she fits in, bro. I mean, obviously, how she's dressed is slightly different. She looks like she's coming from a first world country. She looks like she has money, but skin tone wise, she's not that far off.
Hang on, you're not going to hurt her feelings.
No.
She spent a year in Germany after all. Like, come on.
Germany's great.
Because I have seen white tourists in India, but I don't see that many black people in India.
Then you're not looking. I'm going to be honest here. You're not looking, or you're selectively choosing or deciding what blackness equals. Let's say, have you been to the south of India? Okay. Have you been there? I have. Okay. There are people walking around with my exact skin tone, and I mean in the millions. Okay. So I don't know what you mean by that, or she just purposely is not looking.
It's
So-
definitely not a place where Ethiopians go.
Yeah, I don't really see them, but I think if they would come, maybe there would be a difference in treatment.
I'm guessing she's from the north, guys.
Uh-huh. Do either of you have a response to G-Dog's question?
I think white people in China are definitely treated like celebrities just
Yeah.
for being white.
Uh-huh.
Like, Chinese people just go up to you and try to take a picture
Yeah. Because,
because you're white.
yeah.
Yeah.
I see that. I had that in Ethiopia, by the way. I had so many little kids coming, because we had a project in Ethiopia. So many little kids coming up to me and like just grabbing my hand. They would just grab my hand, and kids would come up and just be like, oh man. Yeah, just really, because I was in a place in Ethiopia where there just weren't many.
Right.
A lot of these kids I'm sure never saw a white person.
Yeah, there's a lot of like places in Ethiopia where they've definitely never seen white people before.
Yeah.
Like even in the capital city, like there's
In Addis, yeah.
yeah, there's maybe like I met a guy when I went there with my family, and we went to like this bar, and we met this white guy, and I'm from America, but I was like, oh my God, what are you doing here? Like, it was so crazy.
Guys, I want to go ahead and say really quickly, I'm going to go ahead and end the video in a moment here, but I want to go ahead and kind of reiterate the points here. So we're looking at someone from Ethiopia, someone from China, along with someone from India. I've been to all of these countries here. So I understand the experiences, and I can definitely tell you right now that the guy from China is absolutely right. If you are of European descent, you're going to be treated as a god, okay? I have some crazy horror stories. I'll tell you this right now. In China, and India. I don't know what it is, guys. Asia is a tricky place for certain skin tones. Let's just be completely honest here. Leave it on the table here. India is a place that I will never visit again in life. I will never go back here again under any circumstances. I would say India and Egypt, specifically, two places I will never venture ever again. China is kind of hit or miss with me, but for example, if I go to China, I specifically am going to bring someone of European descent with me. All right, by default. Okay, just because I'm telling you, it's a mandatory thing. It seems, specifically in China. Honestly, all of Asia, I would say. Because I think the issue is that, yeah, there are people in China that have never seen a black person. I'm fully aware of that. But the amount of times, like, as a photographer experiencing all of these countries, literally working, photographing small villages and people and things like that, the amount of times you get stopped and people want to take photos of you because you are like a museum exhibit or something is what it seems like. I get it. They've never encountered people with, specifically dark skin. I'm not talking about India in this context here, but specifically China. There are a lot of people who have never seen a black American, let's say, right? They've never seen it. Movies, TV shows, or when they're trying to make fun of you, or basically compare you to some type of coffee or chocolate type of substance that they're trying to sell. That's or if you're dirty, then it's a soap company trying to say you can wash the black away. This is China, guys. Okay, China is one of the places where one of the two places actually where someone was trying to look for my tail because they thought I was a monkey. So interesting. Interesting enough here, okay? Yes, if you are of European descent, you will be treated as a god in China. You will be asked for photos all day long. If you want to, like, if you are struggling in the United States of America, bro, go to China. Okay, and if you are a white American, just please go to China, and you are going to win. You're going to get all types of modeling contracts and all types of everything. Telling you, just do that. You'll win there. The same thing with India, absolutely. But then you'll have to live in India. Sorry, I'm openly disrespectful. I really cannot stand India. But either way.
Hey, can we go to the next slide? Do you have a couple things? Anything? A couple comments here and there? Okay. Hey, so I just want to show you this that I think is really interesting. Do you have the?
But I've been to China numerous times.
First off, so the lighter it is. So you see, like, really light, that means the non-Hispanic white population is less than 25% in these counties. These are all counties, okay? So when it's really light, like here, because these are all Mexicans all along the border, okay? But here, the really dark, so up here in Maine and so on, Maine's a really white state, or northern Michigan, really, really white. And then when you see these light counties here in different places, those are all Native American reservations, okay? So, but you notice how all along here, it's much lighter, meaning that the percentage of white people is much less. Mm-hmm. So, if you grow up around these areas, or people that grow up in urban all along the eastern seaboard or in California, you think like, whoa, the U.S. isn't very, it's not very white, like there are no white people, but you got to go in the center of the country here. And then suddenly, the black and brown people start to diminish in numbers tremendously. So, you're here at State College with Penn State, but, if you were up in Maine somewhere, you would literally be the only Indian. And then go to the next slide. I want to show you. Also, this is a complex slide, so let me explain it to you. We're going to have a conversation about the next slide in a second. So this is 2010, the light here, and 2020, the darker, okay? And now this is the total number in the population in millions, and this is the percentage. So in 2010, 63.7% of the U.S. population was white, non-Hispanic. And then it shrunk to 57.8. So it shrunk by 6% in 10 years, owing to new immigrants coming in and the birth rate among black and brown people a little bit higher, mostly brown people, less black people. So here is the population of white people. Look at the Hispanic population's went up in 10 years. Black population went up by a couple million in 10 years, but it went down in percentage. Right, and then this is mostly Asians here, Indians, South Asians, and East Asians. Okay, so just think about it, the number of white people is diminishing and will slowly, you know, in places like California, the white people are the minority. And white people will be the minority. And if you go back to the slide, go back one, all of these areas here, there's so many areas where white people are. I was in New Mexico and Arizona last spring break, and it was just like, you know, tremendously. Okay, go to the next slide. Okay, poor Americans, all right? I want to...
Bro, what is a Latinx? So many questions. I've heard someone say that, and I looked at them like they were absolutely ridiculous. But what is that? Why are we doing that?
I'd like you to comment on this, if you could. So, white people, these are of all the poor. The circle represents all Americans who are considered to be poor. And I'm not going to say how, by measure out by the Census Bureau, okay? I'm not going to say, talk about how we came up with the measure. It doesn't really matter, okay? We're just going to sit.
Okay, is that poverty line?
These are all people who are poor living in the United States. 42.8, so 43% are white.
Yeah, they make up the majority of the population.
Okay? What do you think about that?
But it's actually wildly crazy that Black Americans are, let's say, 14% of the United States of America, then make up over half of the poverty rate of white Americans. But still, in the context of this chart here, white Americans, the reason why there are so many of them, percentage-wise, is because they are the majority of the population.
Philip. So, hang on, I'm going to say this. You've heard the term white privilege. Okay. So, what do you think about that in relation to this?
It's ridiculous, the idea of it.
I think you hear a lot of things, but maybe people don't look at like facts and statistics about this.
Feelings.
I mean, just looking at this graph, I mean, like a lot more white Americans in America are, I guess, poorer than other racial groups.
Well, majority of people who are poor are not white, but, you know, not by much, right? Because it's, you know, it's
I mean, it's 42% of it. That's pretty big.
Yeah. But if you add up everyone else there is black or brown. But nonetheless, it's close to being half and half. Okay, so first off, what's white privilege?
I don't know how to answer that.
Oh, well, just give it a shot. If someone say, "Hey, Phil, you go back to China," or one of your family members says, "Hey, you're like, what is this thing, white privilege, that we talk about, that everybody's talking about in the U.S.?"
I think definitely if you look at the trends in corporations, you can see a lot more white people near like the executives, like the C-suite or whatever.
Yeah.
You see maybe more white people in like colleges, like College of Engineering, you see a lot more white people. Stuff like that, like career stuff, is what one point I could point out right now.
He's definitely trying to push some type of DEI, but the difference is that there's certain groups in America who push education a lot more than other groups inside of the United States of America, and it basically is representative of the CEOs, the people who have gotten to where they are for the most part based on their merit, right? That's the reality of the scenario here. Push your kids, you'll start to see more, benefits coming from that.
Can you, let's, Lena, what if someone asks you, so you're over in Ethiopia, right? Someone's like, "Hey, Lena, what's this thing, white privilege, that Americans keep talking about? Help us out here."
I think like my version of white privilege is when like someone who's the same as me but happens to be white, like Sally. Sally's also white, but we're very similar. She has more privileges for things over me because I'm a person of color.
Yeah, but what though? Like, do you have do you have an example of what that might look like?
It could be in like the job market or academically, or just like, I don't know, like I feel like there's certain things that black, like, I mean, people of color are taught at home that make us, or like that we're taught that like we're different from other, like from white people.
Yeah, like in fact, the victim. We're going to stop here. We're going to leave the rest of the video in the description for you guys. Yeah, like listen, guys, you have to stop teaching the victim mentality. Like that's rule. That should be rule number one to reality here, guys. I mean, stop teaching it. You teach your kid, you can do whatever you want to do, bro. That's it. You are in the United States of America. You have more opportunities than anyone else on the planet to succeed. Okay, get out of the area, specifically if you are in an area that is completely inundated with crime, because you are currently being redlined. And I fully understand why that happens. I'm just gonna be honest here, guys. Okay, get out of that area immediately so you can get your credit score up. You can be around other people with different ideologies and like cultural greatness, let's say, potentially, right? To get away out of that area that you are stuck in, whatever poverty-induced hood, let's say, that you are in. Try your hardest to get away from this immediately and leave all that nonsense in the past and start winning. Okay, the United States of America creates more millionaires than anywhere else on this planet. Like, just understand that you have the ability. It's not color oriented. It's mindset and let's say culture oriented more so, right? Class oriented. Immediately, like when you start realizing that the majority of the places that are, that have a different culture, let's say, they're winning versus another area in the United States of America that is consistently losing. You'll start to realize that maybe I shouldn't hold on or latch on to this absolute, ignoramus type of culture. Get rid of it. Win. Okay, stop teaching your kids that you cannot do a single thing because of the color of your skin. It's ridiculous, bro. All right, that is absolutely crazy. You can do everything. Just understand this here, guys. You can do everything, any and everything. There's nothing you cannot do at all. What can't you do? Okay. But all right, guys, listen, let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. In the meantime, I'll catch you guys later.